Hello, colleagues. This is my follow-up to our professional development that I told you I'd make. I know I went kind of fast in the PD, and a lot of people asked if I could send it all, and I said, well, why don't I just use some of the technology we talked about and kind of walk through it so that way people can watch the parts that they need to watch. Again, if you have specific questions, come find me in my room and I can help you out. So let's get started. So our agenda is going to be very similar to the PD. I'm going to talk about my time at American College of Education. And then I'm going to share some of the things that I was able to learn from my college experience and things I've made and things I brought into the classroom, including my class website, Google Classroom, screencasts, Remind, Twitter, and Skype. There's more, but we're going to focus on those in this module. So for my time at American College of Education, I kind of procrastinated and realized I needed to get my master's and realized I didn't want to drive somewhere and had heard how much time it took up. So I signed up for an online college, didn't know much about American College of Education, and opened up the first week of class in the syllabus and was completely overwhelmed and thought that I was in for a very long year. The year flew by, and what I realized looking back is that I learned a ton, and I've changed a lot of my teaching because of this, and I think I'm a better teacher now because of some of the things I picked up in American College of Education. Highly recommended to anyone needing to get a master's or a 6-year degree. So anyways, a little bit about my school. It's an online school, completely online. Classes last for 5 weeks, and then you have 1 week off in between. Each week set up similar. You have to post discussion boards, complete assignments, watch video modules, and complete reading. And each assignment you do, a lot of the assignments you do, have to do with utilizing a new piece of technology or interacting with technology in a new way. The degree that I did was a master's in instructional design and technology, so it kind of mixed together instructional design and technology in a really interesting way. And like I said, it's really changed perspective on how education can play a role and the importance it can play in the classroom. All right, so one of the first classes we had to start a website, and I decided to go with Google Sites. There's a ton of them out there, and I built websites and other ones. So you may have something that you like better, but Google Sites has been awesome for me and in our social studies department. So I started with a real basic page. You can see it's really grown to the fact where I even have our Twitter feeds at the end. It'll come up in the picture over here, but our Twitter feeds are on the front page, and a lot of the publications and things that students have made we were able to put on there as well. And it's been a great communication tool with parents and students. It's also been a great place to showcase student work. At one point, I would really love to make this student-led, and we had a couple pages that students have updated, but how do I get it to that next level? And that's kind of what we're looking at for next year. Google Classroom, I know we've been introduced to it, and some of us are familiar with it, and I've explored it. Have I used it too much? Not yet. But what's really cool and what I've seen teachers been doing is, you're able to turn in assignments, you're able to grade assignments, receive feedback, and what's really cool is students can complete them on their own time. I have used Google Forms all year for snapshot assessments on content, and I was able to email responses out, and students that were absent were able to take them at home, or I might assign it for a homework assignment and they could go do it. So that's been really cool, and with Google Classroom you can do even more with that. Screencasts. We're doing one right now, and I thought, instead of sending an email out, let's use the technology and show you kind of what we can do. And we really invested, Kate and I really invested in this year. We created screencasts for all of our content that we would typically use to teach in front of the class. And we turned these all into 8 to 10-minute videos. Some are a little shorter. And that became homework. And students went home and watched that, and they took their notes on the videos. And then all of our snapshot assessments were built off that. We've also built some tutorial videos, and we've used other tutorial videos from other people that are good, based on projects that we've done. It's been it's been time consuming. I'm not going to lie. In the beginning, especially, now we can make these videos a lot quicker, but student response has been really good. Most students have smartphones at this time, and they can access the videos on their smartphones or tablets and computers. So the response has been good. More people are doing their homework. More people are understanding the general consensus of what we're trying to teach, and it's giving students multiple opportunities to learn. Early in my time at American College of Education, we started talking about communication tools, and actually it got me thinking. We didn't necessarily take a class directly on it, but it got me thinking about Twitter and the Remind app, and did some research on Twitter. And I kind of went in with a negative attitude on Twitter. I'd never really used Twitter, but after watching and reading about it, I went to my principal and said, "Let's try it out." And we tried it out for the remainder of the last school year, and just used it when we were doing a interdisciplinary project to communicate amongst different classrooms that were working on the project at the same time. And it's kind of taken off. Now it's on the front page of our sixth grade website. Miss Ainsworth has a Twitter, and so do I. So we kind of update it almost on a daily basis. Parents love it. They can see exactly what we're doing in class. You can see up here, this is just kind of our timeline. It's a great way to showcase work. Students are very proud when they get on there. It's kind of like a digital wall of fame, and it's kind of really taken on its own with that. And it's just a great way to document what we're doing in class on a daily basis. The other one that I started using more this year, and I used it more for my history club, but I know some teachers are definitely using it too for their classes, is the Remind app. And with the Remind app, you can send a group message to a class, or you can send individual messages at this time to students to give them reminders. It's been great reminding students about meetings, and anything that you forget to tell a student on a Friday, and you're not going to talk to them again on Monday, or a class, or you forgot to tell them what the homework is. It's worked out really nice, so we've been using that as well. So video conferencing, one of the courses, it was one of our earlier courses we talked about. It talked about collaborating with people outside the classroom and using video conferencing techniques like Skype or FaceTime, sorry. And I've used them both. If you see the top picture here, this is the second year in a row that we have FaceTimed with the old principal, Mr. Blanchfield, who lives in Mexico during the winter months, and we study Mexico conveniently right at the same time. So the last 2 years, our kids have researched where he's lived, and they've FaceTimed him and talked to him for about an hour, and it's been awesome. There's nothing better than getting the real information from a person that actually lives there. But also, we've been using Skype. We've used it when we did an art exchange program with students from Guatemala. So we talked to students from Guatemala with it. And since we started using it, students now are using it. And you can see a student uses it in a project where they actually set up a Skype conference with each other, one on one end of the building and one on the other, to project it up on the screen. So it was really cool to see students starting to take a little bit of leadership after seeing it. So the last two I want to talk about are iMovie and Glogster, and these are not necessarily things that I took directly from American College of Education, but I think my confidence in technology through American College of Education has given me the confidence, I'd say, to go ahead and try these in more. And with iMovie, we've used it for projects this year, especially the trailer app has been pretty awesome for students. They can go in and put information, pictures, videos, and also Glogster, which is an online interactive poster board, just a different way to create a project. And we did a few glogs, and we've done some iMovies, just new ways to kind of incorporate technology. So that's pretty much what I went over in the PD. Again, if you have any questions, come see me. I'm not a genius in any of this by any means, but I do believe my time at American College of Education has given me some insight on some new technologies and some new things, so I kind of feel like a recharged teacher. So thanks for listening.